Oh, okay. So I look a little rough, but totally had a different video to do. But I was on my way home from my Mary Kay meeting, and I had to get gas. And so I stopped at this gas station, and there was this man outside in a wheelchair with a coat on and the hood on over his hat, all bundled up, and just bags, grocery bags or garbage bags, I don't know, loaded all up, all around him, on his bag and on his chair and in his arms, and he was just sitting there. And I was like, I'm just going to get gas. Honestly, tried to ignore him. He was just sitting right by the door of the concession or whatever convenience store. And I mean, here in Florida, it's 38 degrees or whatever it is now, but it's pretty cold, and it didn't look like he had anywhere to go. And so I was like, all honesty, it's not my problem. I'm not going to do it. And the more I sat there and I got gas, and I went to the store and paid, and as I was coming out, I looked at him and I smiled and just heard this still small voice, is that all you can do? And so I went to my car and got some cash out and went back inside and got, hot cocoa and a sandwich. They didn't have any hot food, so I just grabbed a sandwich. And I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, it's cold outside. This dude does not want a cold sandwich. So I got it anyway and paid for it, went outside, and was like, it's not a whole lot, but I hope this helps. And not that I was looking for gratification, but he said, I'm not hungry. That's a cold sandwich. I'm like, well, that's all they had. And he's like, well, do you have a bag to put it in? And I was like, well, I can put it in one of your bags. It looked like he was already carrying some things. And I was like, you can save it for later. And he's like, can you go get me a bag? So yes, I went back in the store and I got him a bag. And I went back out and I gave it to him, and he had me put it on his hand. And the clerk actually gave me the wrong name. So I feel like, when you leave a cashier or you leave people, you should know their names. And I had just asked him, does he sit out there often? And he said, who, George? That was not his name. Because when I said, have a good night, he laughed at me. Because he said, what did you call me? And I said, well, the guy inside said that your name was George. And he said, huh, and told me what his name was. I said, I am so sorry. I said, I hope that keeps you a little warm, and I hope that you have a good night. And I walked away. And at first, I was so angry because I'm like, how rude of you that I didn't have to do what I did, but it tugged at my heart, and I felt like I needed to go get him, something warm. And immediately, I started bawling because I heard God say, that's what you do to me. And so many times we sit and we go through life, and God sees our need. And He gives us what we need. And a lot of times it may not be what we think it should look like. And so we complain. And God doesn't have to give us what we need, but He does it anyway. And so many times we complain that it's not good enough. It's not what we wanted. Whoa. So in my mind, I'm thinking, I ain't going to do that again. But I am. Because just because He didn't receive it the way that I thought that He would, doesn't mean I'm going to quit doing what I feel I should do. And just because we complain and say what God gave us was not enough, He keeps giving. Because He's a gracious God. He is such a good God. And eventually, in the end, I know this guy's going to eat that sandwich. And in the perfect time, he's going to love that sandwich. just like when God gives us what we need, we may not appreciate it at that moment, but eventually we're going to realize how much we needed it. And I just pray that that man finds warmth tonight, and pray that he finds a good meal tonight. Maybe I should have done more. Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. But in that moment, I felt I did what I needed to do. And that's all we can do, is live in each moment and pray that God takes care of the rest, because he will. I hope that helps somebody. Maybe just me. Because boy, did it wreck me. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful that it did. And I pray that it continues to wreck me. Have a good night.